The Supreme Court just shifted the legal ground under gun laws again, and most people have no idea that ignorance can get someone arrested. A single ruling from the highest court has forced a reset on how firearm laws are judged across the United States. Not rewritten overnight, not erased, but destabilized enough that what you think is legal or illegal might not hold for long. If you don't understand what changed, you're guessing. And guessing in this area is how people end up in court. So here's what actually matters. This didn't come out of nowhere. For decades, gun laws were a patchwork. Every state made its own rules. Some states allowed easy carry. Others buried ownership under permits, restrictions, and technical violations waiting to happen. Traveling with a firearm meant navigating a legal minefield. Same gun, a same owner, legal in one state, felony in the next. Courts tolerated that chaos for years. Then things started shifting. Gun rights groups pushed aggressive legal challenges. Courts began reconsidering how these laws should even be judged. That led to the turning point, the Bruen decision. Bruen killed the old balancing test. Before, courts weighed public safety against gun rights. Judges had flexibility. After Bruen, that flexibility is gone. Now the rule is simple. If the government wants a gun law, it has to prove that similar restrictions existed in early American history, late 1700s, early 1800s. No historical precedent equals serious constitutional problem. That single standard flipped the burden. It's no longer on the citizen to justify owning something. It's on the government to justify banning it. That's the foundation. The latest move builds directly on it and pushes further. The message is blunt. Broad, modern restrictions with no historical equivalent are on weak ground. That hits multiple areas at once. First, bans on commonly owned firearms or accessories. The logic is straightforward. If millions of Americans already own something, calling it unusual or dangerous becomes harder to defend. Courts are now skeptical of blanket bans on entire categories of widely owned items. That doesn't mean those bans are gone. It means they're vulnerable. Second, who gets disqualified? Some laws removed gun rights from people without violent convictions. Old, non-violent felonies, dismissed restraining orders, civil flags. Under the new framework, those broad disqualifications are being questioned. Key point, not automatically reversed, but legally shaky enough that challenges are gaining traction. If someone lost rights over a non-violent issue, their case may not be as settled as it looked before. Third, sensitive places. States stretched this concept aggressively. Entire cities effectively became off-limits by labeling large areas as restricted. The court drew a line. Actual sensitive places. Courts, schools, fine. Turning entire regions into no-carry zones, that's getting rejected. Fourth, permit systems. Layered approvals. Permits to buy, permits to carry, extra reviews are now under pressure. The historical record doesn't support heavy, multi-step approval processes before exercising a constitutional right. Again, not gone, but exposed. Fifth, magazine capacity limits. This is where things get direct for millions of people. Several states capped magazine sizes. Under the historical test, there's no real analog for that type of restriction. That doesn't instantly kill those laws, but it strips their strongest defense. Legal challenges are already underway. Now, here's where people mess this up. They hear all this and jump to the worst possible conclusion. Everything is legal now. Wrong. Dangerously wrong. No law disappears just because it's vulnerable. Until a court strikes it down, specifically in your state, it's still enforceable. Police will still arrest you. Prosecutors will still charge you. Judges will still convict you. The Constitution doesn't protect you from a bad assumption. Another mistake. Assuming national carry rights now exist. They don't. There is no universal permit. Reciprocity is still state by state. Cross into the wrong state with a valid permit from somewhere else, and you can still face charges. Nothing in these rulings changed that. Next mistake. Thinking under challenge means legal. It doesn't. A law being challenged in court is still active. People have been arrested while those exact laws were under review. The challenge doesn't protect you. Only a final ruling does. So if you act early, you're the test case, not the winner. Now, what does this actually look like in real life? It's not abstract. A driver crossing multiple states can still get charged if one state doesn't recognize their permit. A firearm legal when purchased can still be restricted under current state law, even if that law is now questionable. A past civil issue can still block ownership today, even if courts might eventually overturn that logic. Eventually doesn't help you during a traffic stop. So here's what actually works. Know your state laws exactly. Not roughly, exactly. Check reciprocity every time you cross state lines. Every time. Treat every active law as enforceable until a court explicitly removes it. If you have a complicated legal history, get it reviewed professionally under the new framework. Anything else is guesswork. And guesswork is how people lose rights permanently. One more thing. Behavior matters. If you're interacting with law enforcement, stay calm. State clearly that you have a legally owned firearm. Follow instructions. Do not argue case law on the roadside. That's not the place you win. You win by not escalating the situation. Here's the bottom line without noise. The legal standard has changed. Many gun laws are now vulnerable. Some will fall, some won't. None disappear automatically. Acting like they have is how you get charged. Most people will ignore this until it hits them personally. That's the pattern. They assume things are fine. They rely on outdated info. They follow what someone online said. Then they find themselves explaining that mistake in front of a judge. You don't need to be that person. Understand the shift. Respect current law. Adjust when rulings actually change it. That's how you stay on the right side of this.